So the Mammoth Film Festival is these two co-founders right here. They started it. I grew up in Mammoth, kind of. I went to high school there. And then these guys started a film festival in Mammoth. So they make me go back there all the time. But it's like it's been really cool to see the growth and the understanding of nonprofit and what you have to go through to create a nonprofit business and then create a festival that is like cool for kids. I think that, you know, everybody's heard of Sundance, and I really believe that the Mammoth Film Festival is like the next Sundance on like a younger level. And I've had a lot of fun over the years with these guys. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Tanner and Tomik, the co-founders of Mammoth Film Festival. And I'm sorry because I always call it the Mammoth Mountain Film Festival. There's a microphone over there. I always call it the Mammoth Mountain Film Festival. That's because I grew up in Mammoth Mountain. So, like, I'm forever going to fuck you guys by calling it. Yeah, sorry. Thanks for coming out, guys. Really appreciate it. And we got a special guest, Chris Reinacher. Reinacher? Did I say it all right?
Christopher
Reinacher. Chris Reinacher from Wine and Weed. Or is it Weed and Wine?
Director, actor, content creator, YouTube personality,
I guess so, yeah.
janitor. Sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, I got a microphone. Hey, guys. How you guys doing? Are you guys feeling okay? Okay, great. You guys
Thank you, Dingo. Thank you, Find Your Grind, for having us here. We really do appreciate you guys being here. Hopefully, we can drop some kind of cool information on you guys. You're obviously here for a reason. We're obviously here for a reason. So we'll try to say some really cool stuff and not keep you too long from the atmosphere that Dingo's created here. Put your hands together real quick, guys, for this guy. He's amazing. He's doing the coolest stuff ever.
Yeah.
You ask Chris a question now. That's how
I
these
thought
things
you
work.
threw that to me.
As a
and I
moderator,
wasn't
you
paying
got to ask
attention.
him, like, Chris, what did you eat for breakfast?
I didn't have breakfast today, so let me talk about breakfast for a second. I got nothing. I had a power bar. How about you guys?
I can't remember, actually. I think I slept through breakfast.
I had ambition. That's what I had.
That's right.
Here we go.
That's right.
So real quick, as Dingo mentioned, we are the Mammoth Film Festival, and thank you for comparing us to Sundance. We are a young festival that is a winter-based film festival in California, you know, thriving on independent films, creating opportunities for people who want to create new projects who may not have access to a Sundance or to a South by Southwest. We're right in between, you know. We want you to make us your home. So we've been fortunate enough to go up to Mammoth Lakes, lay some roots there, grow this incredible new festival that's still an infant. It's still growing, but with the support of people like Dingo, Find Your Grind, Chris, and a lot of our friends, it's been on this exponential growth. So we like to come out to events like this and support Dingo like he supported us, coming to our festival, bringing content creators, donations for prize money for winners. They've done so much for people that are trying to create right now. They've created so many opportunities for people that are involved in music, in sports, in film. You know, they're like the anti-college, which is amazing. And I kind of feel like that with our festival as well. Yeah. So.
Yeah, these guys are the founders, so they're being kind of modest. But the festival is not only like interesting and inspiring, but like so much fun. There's so many different filmmakers from such big backgrounds, and I just think it's really cool to get a bunch of creators together and be able to talk to people, kind of collaborate, understand what other people's processes are and how you can improve your own. So just the festival itself is an awesome experience.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. And we can definitely, if anybody has any interest in getting involved with the Mammoth Film Festival or volunteers, you're filmmakers, you have any interest in the entertainment industry whatsoever, come talk to us afterwards. This is obviously a very like interactive panel. We can hang out with you guys, talk to you about what this festival can maybe do for you. But we're always definitely looking for young, creative minds, hungry people with great ambition. And if there's anything this festival can provide for you, it's in February in Mammoth. If you've never been there, it's beautiful. But just to kind of jump into it, we appreciate Find Your Grind allowing us to be here to come and tell everybody about this brand new film festival, obviously. But also we wanted to bring in somebody like Chris Reinacher.
Close. It's good though. Here, actually, what
I've
Tanner
known this guy
does,
for like 12 years, and I still can't get his last name.
No, yeah, but you pronounce it like my uncle pronounces it, which means it might be correct. My last name is Reinacher, but my uncle says Reinacher. So, who the
I'm
fuck
from
knows?
West Texas, where we don't pronounce anything right.
I like your
but let me
pronunciation.
talk to you guys about Chris and why we're here and
Makes
why
me feel at home.
we kind of wanted to come and speak to you guys and have him kind of relay some really cool information to this demographic and this this kind of space. So Chris, you guys may know him from BuzzFeed. Growing up, we may need to answer this call back here. Seems important. But you guys may know him from BuzzFeed. He's got a great new podcast out right now called Wine and Weed, which you guys should definitely tune into. They just talk about every subject under the sun. It's actually really brilliant. They just did a live episode of that. This guy is a California native. He's done just about everything under the sun. He's been in, everything from social media broadcast to written and directed, produced his own stuff. His YouTube channel is incredible. Like I said, you definitely know him from his journalistic days from BuzzFeed. I guess we call that journalistic days.
Yeah, editorial.
Editorial days.
I don't know what it means, but that's the word we use.
But he's just an incredible person, and I think sharing some of his experiences with the demographic that is here at this university could be just inspiring and informal and everything across the board. Chris, if you could just tell everybody, like maybe like you're just in a brief notation of like, hey, here's the last 10 years of my life, or here's me the day I stepped out of going to university here in this great state of California.
Ooh, here are 10 years of my life, briefly. I'd say like the biggest thing that, like, if we're talking about being a filmmaker or being a creator or content creator, like the biggest piece of advice I could offer is just do it. Like just go and make something. That's kind of been my philosophy this entire time, and it's worked out pretty well. Because I think we get kind of lost in like the bureaucracy of film or the bureaucracy of movies, or where something lays on some chart, or everything from likes or views to box office numbers. And my view has always just kind of been like, create what you like.
Like pick up the phone and go shoot something.
Yeah, like we all have this like amazing fucking 4K phone in our pockets, and a lot of us like throwing in a lot of obstacles between an idea and actually creating that idea. And I think if you break those obstacles down, that you can actually do a lot. So like my journey was in college. I actually went to a little bit of a panel, and I saw somebody, the director of Little Miss Sunshine, who went to my college, was like, the biggest thing I could tell you in college is to create and to find collaborators that are like you. Because you guys are at USC. You guys are with some really, really smart people. Everybody here is either really smart or really good at something. So you could go, oh, I'm in Hollywood, I'm in LA. Let me go find all the big poppin' things happening. Or you can build a community, and you guys can be the next community that comes up, that becomes the next group of Seth Rogeners, or the group of, who's the other groups? Andy Sambergers. The Sandlers from back in the day. You can figure out how to become your own version of that by finding these really smart people who are really great around you. So that's what I did, and I created this group called The Waitlist, and we won an international film competition against USC. We beat you guys, and I'm just kidding. I'm so sorry I did. And by the time I left college, I had done 50 shorts and sketches. So those shorts and sketches got me acting jobs, got me an agent, Eventually, I got started at BuzzFeed, and they were like, what's your experience creating? And I'm like, well, I guess I produced these 50 sketches and short films. And that all came from the idea of, like, let's just do it. Because a lot of people, I was in an acting program, and when I graduated, I'm just avoiding saying I went to UCLA. I was at the acting program at UCLA. And went, yay! And, okay, yeah, all right, so fuck SC, guys. I went to UCLA. Yes. And when I left, a lot of actors in my program who were really good actors were like, how do I get an agent? How do I get into the business? I don't know what the fuck to do. And I didn't even have to make any calls because people were calling me going, hey, I saw this guy in these sketches online, and these guys have a ton of work, and I can see that they're good. So a lot of people were like, well, what do I do? Do I go to a workshop? Do I work with a casting director? Do I work for free? And we were able to kind of bypass all that by just creating a group of people who wanted to do it ourselves. And now that group, one of them is the main stage at UCB and the Groundlings. Another one is writing for Rick and Morty. Another one is writing Will Ferrell's next movie. I've done what I've done. Our musician is a composer. He composed the music for Straight Outta Compton. He'll be writing the music for the next Lady and the Tramp movie. And that's just because while we were in college, we found people who were like-minded and we created together. So like the biggest thing I can say to people who are college age is instead of trying to like break through to the next level, realize that the people your age are the next level. Find a team and work with them and continue working with them. You guys came to my show at UCLA. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually kind of what I was going to say. So we wanted to bring Chris on board, not only because he has such a tremendous story of, him. We've gotten to watch his growth just as friends. Chris and I have known each other for a long time, but the reason he's such a great attribute to what we're doing at Mammoth Film Festival is he obtains all this knowledge because he's had this amazing path of literally kind of no compass, you know what I mean? With the compass was in your heart, so to speak, because there is no compass in this ever-changing landscape that I think we can all agree where we don't know if like all of a sudden we turn a certain age where we should still be on Facebook or all of these things. It's like the wild west of social media, of media in general. And I don't know if any of you guys are interested in like mass communications or anything that you like would try to think you would study to be on things, but Chris brings up an amazing point of you're at a valuable time in your life right now where you have the ability to latch on and find this kind of unique group of friends or kinship of folks that believe the same kind of things you do or like-minded individuals that have the same interest, and to be able to have this kind of growth period of like, hey, we're all like 20-something years old trying to figure out this new shit that nobody really has a handle on, including the media, because people don't even know what they're doing in the business anymore unless they're making Marvel movies or they're just making tons of money. It's this kind of like scary but beautiful way of new media. But with something that we're doing at Mammoth Film Festival, we obviously encourage indie films. We come from that kind of generation, I guess, so to speak, of indie films. And Chris brings an interesting light as a big face of that into that. Tomik brings an amazing, interesting light from his background of event coordination and everything else. But I say that to say this, it's still a hybrid of exactly what the things that we kind of learned very early on from people who spoke to us, like we're speaking to you, of finding that unique kinship of like, damn, this guy does this guy does this, this guy does this and has a cousin who does that, bring him on too. Let's all band together and like, let's become this amazing group, whether it's in the entertainment industry, in front of, behind the camera or whatever. And we speak more to that so because we're a film festival, but that can apply to anything. Hell,
I heard somebody talk about networking recently and they were like, here's how you network. And they were like, here you find somebody who's doing something important and you smooze your way into schmoozing. And I'm like, fuck that shit. Don't like be a networker, like go find people who are good, and because they're like-minded, you will like them, you will create together, you will make that stuff. And the vibe that I get when I'm at a place like Mammoth is back to that first square of like, oh cool, everyone's here to create or because they've created something. And we're also excited to talk about that and talk about that process and meet people who are like-minded. And like that's such a better way to network in my mind, with that mindset of like, hey, like I didn't go, hey, what can Tanner do for me? I was like, Tanner's hilarious. I like hanging out with him and he seems to like the same things I like. So then we became friends and now we're working together. And I think that's a way better like approach than what can somebody do for me, which is a lot of LA.
Yeah, and I think there's different ways of networking these days. Like this, just you guys being here in this room is one. Like I saw some people coming to Chris earlier, recognized him from what he did. Got 10 minutes of FaceTime with Chris to hang out with him and talk to him about, ask him some questions about what they want to do. Another outlet is just attending a film festival. It's going to different festivals and going to different screenings and meeting people. Maybe you want to make horror movies. You go to the horror blocks at film festivals and hang out and meet the director afterwards and ask them, hey, how did you make that person's head explode in that movie, and like get answers.
And the cool thing is you have all the permission in the world at a film festival to do that. Where maybe if I see you at a bar and I'm like, hey, I know you from the horror movie, you might be like, I'm at a bar, bro. I don't want to talk about the horror movie. But when you're at a festival, it's like everyone's here to fucking nerd out. And that's what's the best part is. You know? Yeah.